Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dion. This is chapstick and this is cotton candy, scented and flavored. I chose it at random. I called this channel, excuse me, the Crazy Troll Nation because of stuff like that. It's like, I'm like a baby. I'm always like hiccuping, belching, my throat be gurgling. Oh my gosh. So the Crazy Troll Nation is being okay with however you are and enjoying your videos. I think is entertaining. I don't know if you do, but I'm just like, what the heck is going on and what am I doing and why? And I leave it in the video because it's real life. Like, this is what really happened and you're going to see whatever it is that's happening. So yeah, the Crazy Troll Nation, just knowing it really is okay just to be yourself. I'm looking like I don't know what's going on here. Knowing that it is okay to be yourself, just be who you are. The troll part is not caring too much about the beauty community standards. Love yourself for who you are and for how you look without face paint on. That's the overall concept of the Crazy Troll Nation of YouTube. And as far as not caring too much about the beauty community standards, what I mean by that is a lot of times we may feel like, you know, we're watching the big popular YouTubers and they're saying you need to do this or that and their makeup is perfection. And so we may feel like I need to do exactly what they're doing, which is impossible because you're not them. So it's not going to be exactly the same. And even if you get close to their technique and you're using the tools that you're using and the brands that they're using, your complexion, your undertone, your eye shape, your face shape, your bone structure, that will all affect how makeup looks on you. And so I'm just here to let you know, you don't have to do everything they say to do. Use whatever brand, whatever tool, whatever technique you want to get your makeup on in a way that you are satisfied with it. And again, just loving yourself for who you are and for how you look, even without face paint on. That is the concept of the Crazy Troll Nation. Just being yourself and loving yourself for who and for how you are. I do curse on my channel sometimes because I curse in real life sometimes. If you're new here, thank you for being here. If you're returning, thank you for returning. Y'all be rocking with me. I know I be acting a fool and y'all keep coming back and I love y'all for it. So this video, this is a special one. We're still in the month of McGrath, of course. And Melinda, she does have a YouTube channel, but she doesn't do videos. And we've been watching, well, she's been watching my videos for a while. I've been following her Instagram for a while. I will tag her below so she'll know when this video airs. And I will put her Instagram down in the description box. I would love for you to check her out. What I love about her Instagram is that she does post looks. Her looks are amazing too, by the way. And what I like about, excuse me, I am out of sorts. I just got home like 15 minutes ago and I'm using stuff that I took with me to use that I ended up not using, and so stuff is not where it normally is. What I like and what I appreciate about her Instagram is when she posts looks, she does a slideshow. And she does it in like a collage. So there's like 4 pictures in each slide. The ones where she's showing the look. And what I appreciate about that is it's step by step. Like you will see a brush pointing to like this eyeshadow that's in this area. And then the next slide will be a different brush and a different shadow right here. And then there will be, you know, a different brush and a different shadow here, and then there will be another brush with a shadow here. And so you're seeing where each single shadow goes, and I love that because if you are trying to follow along, or if you're trying to use, you know, similar colors that you may already have and you're trying to get a similar look to the one that she's doing, she makes this super easy for you. And I just really love that. And so that I've been looking at her or following her on Instagram for a while, and she follows me too on Instagram, and it's been for a while. And aside from that though, of course, we bonded over makeup first, but then you start chit-chatting with people. You're commenting under their post, they're commenting under your post. And I think one of the things, aside from makeup, because we were just commenting on each other's stuff, it wasn't too much chit-chat otherwise until that nonsensical Instagram glitch, whatever that stuff was, because we both were banned, but we were both able to still DM. And so we were DMing back and forth, or if someone would have left a comment, I wasn't able to comment back, but I can DM. And so her and I started DMing, you know, venting our frustrations about the Instagram thing, and there is no help on Instagram's end at all. So we were chatting quite a bit about that. And outside of makeup and videos and social media, we have some life things in common. I'm not going to say anything particular because it deals with family members, but we were sharing information and just helping each other out in that area. And that's really important, because sometimes when you go through things, or you have a family member that's going through something, sometimes you can feel alone. And even if you tell people, because they're not dealing with it, they don't really get it. Like, they hear what you're saying, but they don't feel what you feel. They don't feel the frustration, or they don't sense the tension or the annoyance. And so we bonded over that as well. So just helping each other out with day-to-day life stuff and being helpful and useful, to each other. And that's still going on. It's been, I think, at least a month now, maybe more, that we've really been just chatting about just life. And I'm really appreciative of that. And the same on her end. She says she is too. And it is really nice that even though you may bond over one thing, when that bond grows organically, it can be really nice, because it's not always, you know, just makeup. Oh, did you see that eyeshadow palette? And it's about, you know, how's your day? Like, you know, is such and such working out? How are you doing? You know, and that's really nice when people take an interest in your life, and vice versa. And it's genuine. It's not something that you have to force. And so that all led up to us being here. Today is the video that did I perfect my Pat McGrath base face video or something like that? And I think I have a couple more of those, because I was still experimenting even after that. This is awesome. I would just leave home just like this, but we're not, because we're going to do the Pat face. And this is going to be chatty, as you can tell, because I'm giving you a lot of information. And so she commented under the video, she loves Pat McGrath. I'm not going to say she's a collector, because I'm not sure. I know she has every Mothership. I don't. I got 1 through 6. 6 was Midnight Sun, and then I got Moonlit Seduction, because all the pinks, mauves, and taupes, and I'm like Divine Rose 1, 2, and Utopian Dream. Those were not my vibe at all. So I skipped those. We're doing 2 pumps of the foundation. We did 2 pumps of the primer. And so she commented that she was excited about my month of McGrath, and as soon as the videos go live, she's going to click and watch them. And one thing that really touched me, she said that while I was doing my base face using Pat McGrath, she pulled out her Pat McGrath and started doing her base face. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. And there are times when some of you will say, oh, I was doing my makeup as you were doing yours this morning. And I'm going to tell you something that I don't think I've shared before. I think I did. When there's a comment, when one of you comments something that's really heartfelt or really touches me, and all the comments touch me, because I know I always ask questions and you guys be answering, and I'm like, wow. And I love the interaction. I love, you know, the communication. And I'm just like, wow, like I inspired somebody. You know what I mean? Or they're doing their makeup when I'm doing my makeup, because they love the same brand that I love, or the one I'm using, or even if it's a different brand, it's like they're doing their makeup when I'm doing my makeup. So to me, it feels like, you know, it's party night. You know, we're going to the club and we're both in the bathroom doing our makeup together because we're going somewhere. And so it helps me feel closer to you. And I know I've said about collabs before, it helps me make the community, not make the community. For me, makes it feel like the community is a little closer and it's not just this distant thing and you guys are just out there doing your own thing. Like, I feel like we're in here together. We're doing this together. Even though you're watching me do videos, because of the interaction, like, you guys are a part of my life. And from the chit chat, I do feel like I'm a part of your life too. And so she commented, she was really excited, blah, blah, blah. And so I DM'd her and asked her if she wanted to do a collab, since I am systematically, working through the motherships. Even though she doesn't do videos, I've done collabs before where the other person didn't do videos, they did Instagram. And so I asked her if she would like to do a collab, like do a look with the next mothership that I'm using, which today is Bronze Seduction. And we talked about what that will look like, because I don't think she's collabed before. So she's like, what do I do? What do I say? And so she's going to post pictures today. And of course, I'm going to do my short here and the reel, which is the same. I just use them both for the different social platforms. And she's going to send me a picture of her look. I'm going to insert that here somewhere in this video. And for Instagram, I'm going to post a couple of her looks along with my slideshow. And she's going to post a couple of my looks, I believe, with her slideshow. And of course, we'll have each other's, information down below. And as I said, I am digging this. I will have her Instagram below. And so I do encourage you to check her out, if for nothing else, for the step-by-step how she does her looks, because that can be extremely helpful. And even sometimes when you see makeup looks, it's hard to discern, like, okay, what color is this exactly? Her doing step-by-step, even if it's a matte green and then like a similar tone shimmer green, you might think it's just a matte shade or just a shimmer, but it's two different shades. And so by her doing the step-by-step and you see where the shade is, it's just really helpful for if you're wanting to do a similar look, or even just an idea of shadow placement. And again, you can put your makeup on however you want to, but it's just another tool for your arsenal. Just like for me, I was doing inner outward for a long time, light to dark for a long time, and now I'm back to doing dark to light and trying to change the shape. And so it's just trying different things. And so you don't have to do it the way she does it, but I think it's just another option for you to try, or even just seeing how she does different color combinations. And all of her looks are they're very nice. And she does different poses. And so you can see everything that she's doing and what everything looks like. Because I realize for me, if I'm taking a picture and I'm looking down, you don't see my lower lash line. And then if I look up, you may, but you're just seeing this angle. And so this angle, it may look different. And so she'll look up and then she'll look down and she'll, this way. Just a lot of different poses, a lot of different things. It's just really helpful. So that is that. Oh my gosh, I am so chatty. So my 4th of July, which is still today, it was good. I did stay overnight. I think, yeah, I did mention that because I did a pack with me and I didn't unpack this makeup that I'm using for this video that I didn't do when I was there. The room I was in was very cozy, very comfortable. I stayed at my uncle's house. And so yesterday was really pleasant. And I got to see quite a few family members and my mom yesterday. She's now living with one of my aunts in New Jersey. And for those of you who are new, my mom does have dementia. And I think it might have been like 7 years ago, maybe, that I needed to put her in a nursing home because I couldn't care for her and she needed 24-hour care. And it was a lot of other factors into that. But recently, maybe like a year ago, my aunt decided she would like my mom to be moved into her house. And so we did that transition. And so I didn't realize until that happened, until my mom moved in with my aunt, like how tense and stressed I was. And every time my phone would ring, I'm thinking, is that the nursing home? Did something happen? Oh my gosh, you know what I mean? But knowing that she's with family, and she gets a lot of care from Medicaid and from Medicare, so she is doing extremely well. She's doing 100 times better than she did in the nursing home because she has services hours and hours a day, every single day, one-on-one care, get her up, exercise, feed her, talk to her. And so she has been a lot better. And I think she really just needed that social interaction, because when you're in a nursing home, you're just sitting in your room. And if you don't make a ruckus, they'll just come peeking at you every couple hours and leave, where now she's having like attention all day long, except the middle of the night when most people are asleep, but then they still, you know, get up and check on her. So she's more alert. I know I digress, but I'm really relieved, and I am much more at peace because I know that she is really okay and she's getting the best care possible. And my aunt that she lives with and my other aunt that goes over and checks on her, they were both nurses. And so aside from all the care that she gets from Medicaid and Medicare and the home nurses and stuff, my aunts, they were nurses. And so she is getting the best care possible. And I realized one day, I'm like, I don't feel stressed anymore. Like, I don't feel on edge or anxious because she's fine. And even seeing her, you know, she's alert. You know, she'll look at you now when you're talking to her. She'll just look at you. And today, oh my gosh, I was about to crack up. Actually, I did laugh because one of my aunts was feeding her. My mom was chowing down. She was, and there were times when she wouldn't even eat at all. But now she is just, if she wants something to drink, she'll be like, put the straw in my mouth, girl. It is just so, I'm just so elated at how well she's doing. She still has dementia. She doesn't know I'm her daughter, but she's always happy to see me. When I grab her hand, you know, she'll squeeze it and then she'll like look at me and she'll just stare at me, and I'll talk to her and she's just looking at me, and I give her a kiss on the cheek and she'll just kind of smile at me, and I'm just like, ah. So I got to see her yesterday and today, so that was really good. Let's get into this look because I could just go on, and we're already 16 minutes in. Did I tell y'all this was going to be long? You see the timestamp. So I want to do a light ethereal look, as I've been trying to do, but this is kind of a dark palette because this is dark. This shows up deeper on me than it looks in the pan, and of course this shows up deep because it's darker than that one. And so I think I want to do outer corner and then this one and maybe these two, or maybe this one and that one like we've been doing, just to see what that color is. And this one says Astral Lunar Gold, and this one is a dual chrome because when I look this way I see pink, but when I look where you are it looks gold. And so that's why I'm thinking to put this next to that. But since this is a gold too, that should go well with, let's just do something. So we're going to take Disobedient and we're going to put this on the outer corner. I can honestly say, well, quite a few things. I am liking the base face that I've been doing. It took me trial and error to get here, and if you've seen those videos, you've seen where I'm like, am I liking it? Am I getting it? And then the issue with the medium 3 powder being too dark, the medium light 2 or light medium 2 being too light, and trying to make that work with the bronzers, which it does, and even trying to work with the concealer, which it was too dark. The M18, which is the foundation I wear, the M18 foundation was too dark. The M17, concealer was too dark. The M17 concealer was too light. And I really, when I did the work, but I'm like, it's just not going to work because the shades are not good for my under eye area. But like, even just looking at my face now, like this, I'm digging it. And so everything is not pat, but we're sticking to as much pat as we can. And I am digging using the bronzers to balance out after I put this setting powder on. And I don't know though, Melinda gave me something to think about. She was saying that she, well, she says she has a lot of makeup, but some of us do, so that's not any new news. But she had mentioned the Hourglass powder, and I do have one here that I haven't opened yet. And I remember loving this powder because it didn't change the look of my foundation, it didn't change the look of my concealer. And I have the Fashion Fair open. The PAO was 24 months, and I do believe the Pat McGrath, even though it's less powder, but it's so finely milled. To me, it seems really finely milled. that PAO was 24 months as well. And so then I was thinking I could just still open the Hourglass powder, which the PAO is 12 months. But if I'm rotating, I would use it up and still use up the Fashion Fair within 24 months. The Fashion Fair one I use within about a year and a half, or a little over a year and a half. And powders you can keep longer, as long as the formula doesn't change, you know, it doesn't start to break out your skin or whatever. And so I am thinking, what I'm thinking of, and it'll feel like a waste in a way, but it would make my makeup application easier. So what I'm thinking of is, after the month of McGrath, just ditch the medium light or light medium 2 powder, since it's too light, and just use the Hourglass or the Fashion Fair, because I have to use bronzer with that setting powder, with the Pat McGrath setting powder, to make my face not look ghastly. And so if I can just use, which I can, the Fashion Fair powder or the Hourglass powder, I would not have to necessarily use bronzer like on the perimeter of my face just to get everything looking consistent, unless I just wanted to. And I would rather just want to and not need to. You know what I mean? And so that's what I'm thinking now. And it is past the point of no return, because I put it in here. I got slashed the mesh and put it in here. But I like the powder. It's just the shade is just not a good shade for me. And it seems weird. And I know people swear by the powders. You know, 3 is too dark, 2 is too light. The M18 concealer is too dark for my undertone area. The undertone of it is wrong. And the M17 concealer was way too light, and I don't want to keep trying different ones, and I'm not going to buy 3 or 4 concealers in mixed shades. I'm just not doing that. So now we're going to take Entrapment, this shade here, and so that's what I'm thinking, that I might end up just ditching that Pat McGrath setting powder, even though I like how it performs. For the interior of my face, it goes well. It's just the exterior of my face that is too light. And so I could still use it, just use it strategically. You know what I mean? And so that's my dilemma right now. And we're not even through the month yet, so I have time to think about it. I will continue to use it in videos, because I know I said my the base face that I settle on is going to be the base face you see, and it just simplifies things for me. I am loving this technique because the way shadows are blending into each other when I do dark to light, and the shadows are still sticking to the primer. Like I think I remember I used to do dark to light before, and then somewhere I started doing inward outward, light to dark. And I'm wondering now if I did that because people were like, oh, you got to use glitter glue. And I'm like, I'll just put it on top of primer. I think that's how that started, and it worked out well, so I stuck with it. And so, but I'm glad that I'm doing these looks with this technique, because as I mentioned earlier, it just gives me like another alternative for how I do my eyeshadow look. And I realized too, doing it this way, I don't necessarily use an upper transition shade, because I take my lid shade so far up, and because of how they blend, y'all, this is nice. So we're going to look at my under eye area. I don't think, it's not even creasing, but just when I smile, my wrinkles pop out. But when I look down here, it might look different where you are, but even when I pull down, like, it's not creasing in my wrinkles. But that's what I was just checking. So we're going to take, if I really wanted to do ethereal, I could just do this one, which I do. And then maybe that one. Do we want to do that? That would be an ethereal look that we're going for. You know what? I'm going to do these two, because these are celestial shades. These are chunky monkeys, but not the chunkiest monkeys of them all. So yeah, we're going to take this one, and then do I want to take this one and then this one? Will this overpower what's going on already? That is Blitz Flame. We're going to take Blitz Flame, but I'm thinking it might be too dark. I'm indecisive. No, we're just going to do these two. Why is this looking greenish right here? Oh, this is looking down here is orange and where you are is green. This one. So you see how this looks pink? And then it's green. So that's what's making me think to put this one and then here. But this, oh, damn it. I just mixed up myself again. We're going to take this shade. This, because I wanted to use more of the celestial shades. Damn it. Ah. All right, we're going to take this shade, which is Bronze Blaze. And then we're going to take this one. Even though I do want to take this one and then... Troll, make a decision. You're taking too long. People got things to do. Okay, we're going to take Blitz Flame. Sometimes, y'all, I got to have these conversations with myself. I forget who it was. They said they like when I talk to myself or about myself in the third person. Like if I hiccup and I'm like, excuse you, troll. Or, you know, like, or how I just did actually was a perfect example. This is a dry brush, by the way. And this is a celestial shade. This is nice. I do believe I would get more payoff with a sponge tip applicator. And we are going to take a sponge tip applicator. I am pressing. I do feel it sticking to the primer. I am seeing a few flecks of fallout, which is to be expected. This, oh my gosh, y'all. So we are like just patting and pressing. I'm not going to do any sweeping at all whatsoever. So we are just pressing just to get a blend. So we're going to just kind of press and wiggle, but we're not going to sweep. So we're getting a blend without blending. Hopefully it looks like it's blended. So we're just pressing and wiggling. And I think that worked. So we're pressing and just wiggling where those two shades meet. And let me see how much fallout I have. Just a few flakes. And again, we haven't powdered down. We haven't done highlight or anything yet. I kind of want to take a sponge tip just to see. But those sponge tips, the Temu sponge tips do give me fallout because they're so stiff. The sponge tips that I have from Amazon, there is a link for that below. I get very little fallout with that because they are more flexible and I feel specks on my nose. We're going to take this brush and we're going to, what we say we were taking? This one, since we did that. Yeah, so this is Rose Gold 005. Or do we want to take, girl, this one here? Because this one says Astral Lunar Gold. We're going to take this one because we use this one. So we're going to take this one, which to me looks pink, but here it looks gold. And it's called, which one am I pointing at? I get thrown off because I'm seeing pink, but where you are, I see the gold. VR Fire Opal. That's what we're taking. And again, this is a dry brush. And we're going to just press. That don't look right. That don't look right. That does not look right. Damn. VR Fire Opal. It's green. That's this shade. So you see it's gold and then it's pink. But on my lid it's green. Like, I don't know. So we're pressing. I'm used to the one down here in the corner, the white one looking different colors, but I didn't expect this to be green. Let me know if this is funny to you as it is to me. Like, it's just like funny in like a crazy ironic kind of way. Like, I'm seeing green and pink, well, gold and pink, and it's green. Help me make that make sense. I'm going to take Amazon sponge tip applicator, And we're going to go back into Blitz Flame. Oh boy. And this one, yeah, you're going to see, I'm going to overlap. I don't know if you see the intensity. I see it down below in the mirror that I'm looking in. But it does make it more intense. So we're going to overlap the inner corner shade. Excuse me. I do like it though because it's different. And sometimes that's what does it for me. Something's just different. I'm like, okay. So we're going to press. So I am seeing it show up a little more intense. If you're new here, I don't like using my fingers for makeup. And you will hear people say, for best payoff and for no fallout, you need to use your finger. But you know what? I see people use their finger and they still get fallout. So I'm like, what you saying? What are you saying? I have very minimal fallout, like very, very minimal. Very, very minimal. And I used a dry brush. So try not to let people have you believing you need to use a certain thing. I'll put away these two brushes because I did not use them. Do I want to use, ooh, I don't know. So what we're going to do now, we're going to take the pencil and we're going to put that on our lower lash line. This is not something I would repurchase. Did I talk about that in another video? Because I prefer retractables. And I think it's fun to put different colored liners on my lower lash line and my waterline. As far as lower lash line though, I usually put shadow over it anyway, so it being black doesn't really matter. But when I use the NYX retractable eyeliners, if I put it on my lower waterline, sometimes I put that same shade on my lower lash line. Did I say that backwards? If I put it on my lower lash line, I sometimes put that same color on my lower waterline. And I don't know if I can do it with this because it's very nubby right now. But we're going to see. I definitely am not able to put it on my upper lash line. I mean, my upper waterline, because there's no point to it. It's just like a tiny shoot. Smaller than I thought. It does wear down pretty quick. I was glad to receive this as a free gift with purchase, which means it wasn't free. And also, whatever else it was. Oh, the mascara that's gone somewhere else because it irritated my eyes when I had one before, so I knew not to use that one. What are we going to do? We're going to put shadow. I'm going to have to press because we're going to use 2 of the Astro Blitz shades on our lower lash line. And to get as little fallout as possible, we're going to use these really short, stubby smudger brushes. And we're going to take, I'm going to take Guilty Pleasure. This shade here. This is not a chunky monkey, but it is a metallic. And this one does give fallout too. And so we're just going to just press and wiggle on the first, the last, excuse me, 3/4 of our lash line. And so I'm not swiping because this shade does give fallout. But then we didn't do concealer or anything yet either, so I could. So let's just do it. Oh yeah, I see the fallout already. So we're going to put that there. And we're going to do the same thing on this eye. It also helps me to press and wiggle with the metallics and the celestial shades under here. And even doing this sometimes, it still does flake up into my eye. But this helps to just press and wiggle versus when I swipe. Because when I swipe is when it's more likely than not to flake up into my eye. So we're going to take this brush and we're going to go into this shade here. I don't know what color it is. It says Astro Lunar Gold. It might be green. I am liking that pop of green though. This is so much fun for me. Just seeing like what stuff looks like. Oh, I know what I was going to say earlier. Astro Lunar Gold, and it is gold. Interesting. Because VR Fire Opal was green. Like I wouldn't think Fire Opal would be green. Those two look nice together, that green and this gold. Again, this is the one on the top. See, now here it looks green, but then here it doesn't. And then over here it doesn't. And this is the one we're putting on now that is turning up gold. I was going to say earlier, systematically working through the motherships again is reminding me of how much I enjoy them. I'm not looking forward to the chunkiest monkeys of them all, but because the sponge tip applicators is a game changer for me in using those shades, I don't loathe knowing I'm going to use them like I used to. Like, I'm okay with using them. I just need to be in the mood. And I am in the mood because we're doing a month of McGrath. I'm going to take this brush, no shadow on it. I'm thinking I should take a little bit of this though. I'm just going to tap this straight in like that, just a little bit, tap off, and we are going to just buff under here's. I don't know what, you know what it is, because I sometimes start a sentence on the heels of the sentence I'm speaking, and so it sounds like I'm adding syllables, which I am, but I need to just like say a sentence and stop, and then start the new sentence. I was going to say it's reminding me of how much I really do enjoy the Mothership palettes and the formula, the mattes. I do really like her mattes, and I like her metallics. Celestial shades I like more in the first three than Midnight Sun and Moonlit Seduction. Like, did I bring that down too far? Like right here, probably did, but we still need to powder down and do all of that. So we have used, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the 10 shades. And no, we didn't do Blitz Flame. 1, 2, 3. Did we use this one? Which one is that one? I don't know. Bronze Blaze we did. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shades. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 shades. 3 of them being the Celestial shades, which is what my goal was to use more of the Celestial shades, just to see like what they would do. That green, I'm loving this look because that green is just like setting it off. So we are going to powder down the face. Why did I say that like that? Just because I could. So we're going to take this brush, we're going to press it in here. Ooh, child. And we're going to tap off in here. And I lean back, lean back, lean back, lean back, so it don't get in my throat. And then we're going to press under the eyes. Woo, it puffed up. And press on our face. There's a lot in this cap. I don't know, excuse me for smacking, which is more finely milled. I want to say the Pat McGrath one is more finely milled because it pours through that sifter in this Fashion Fair container. I do remember the Hourglass being finely milled too, but I don't remember how finely milled because once I started using Fashion Fair, I stuck with that for years. And so I haven't used the Hourglass one in a while. But I do think I'm going to open it after this month is over, because then maybe that'll just be my under eye powder, and put this on the perimeter of my face. Because now you see I'm looking kind of ghastly, so I need bronzer around the perimeter of my face. But the interior is fine, and even my under eye I think isn't horrible. This is my darkest patch, but I don't think this is horrible. So I am really liking this base face. I just have to use bronzer for the perimeter of my face, and I don't like feeling like I need to do other stuff. Like from back here, yeah, it's still a little ghastly. So I just don't like needing to fix something to make the color look right. And it's not really a big deal because I have the bronzers, I have stuff to use. But it's the thing, like, what if I was rushing to go somewhere? I wouldn't use that powder because I know I would have to go in with other powders, you know, to make it look right. So this is Bronze Divinity like we have been doing. And we're going to put this on right here. thank you, Melinda, for this collab. There's just something about collabs, because it does make the community seem a little bit smaller. It brings it in together. You're working with somebody, and regardless of whatever day we each do our looks, it's just knowing somebody else is using this palette for the same reason I am. And not just to use it, but we're working together for this collab. Like, we're in this together. We're doing this together, even though it's different days and, you know, we're in different places, different states. But just the idea of, yeah, we're a team. You know what I mean? And that's why I like doing collabs. And for me, for the most part, when I collab with someone, for the most part, we do stay in touch afterwards. And especially if we were at the place of having conversations other than makeup. Because how much can you talk about makeup? And do you want all your conversation to be makeup? Oh, did you see that new release? Chances are I didn't, because I don't keep up. So that's the end of that conversation. Are you going to buy, you know, the new Glaminatrix palette? No, because they use pressed pigments and they break my face, my lids out. They irritate my skin. So that's the end of that conversation. So if it's only going to be makeup, it's going to be a short conversation with me. And so it's usually the ones where we talk about more than just makeup that we do tend to keep in touch. And so I really value that, and it's enjoyable. So now that you see this is on, the powder's fine. And it's not even a big deal to have to use the powder, because I'm liking how this looks. And the only reason I do bring it here is because the powder is too light. Usually I don't bring my bronzer / contour down here, because I'm not trying to shorten this area, which is what happens when you put something dark here, but just to make the entire perimeter of my face the same. That's why I do still bring it in this area here. I usually do bring it down by my ear, because then I'm taking it along my chin. So that I normally do, and I normally do bring it right here across my chin just to tie it in, and across my nose. I never highlight my nose because I got a big ass nose anyway. Why do I want a shining light on my nose? And when you look at my nose, it still looks bright on the tip of my nose. So I don't want to highlight that any more than it already is, but I embrace it. And it's okay that it's there. I'm just not going to highlight it. This is Desert Glow. This is also a bronzer. I've been loving this, like, just right here. It's like an orangey something or other that just brings a little more dimension to my face. One day I will just use this alone, but I am liking it with Bronze Divinity. Like, this is Bronze Divinity, and then this is Desert Glow. So I'm not putting it on top of it in a sense that I'm covering it up, but I'm putting it above it. That's what I'm trying to say. And I am really liking that look. And then sometimes I will still just put some here too. But yeah, I'm glad I got these bronzers. We're now going to take Desert Orchid. I did take with me, well, Desert Orchid, but I think I want to use Paradise Venus again. This might be too dark and I might regret it. But we're going to take Paradise Venus. Pat blushes are intense, and we're going to put that like on the top edge of Bronze Glow. No. Desert Glow. That's all we're going to do. Hopefully I can do the same thing on the other side. And we're just going to just buff it down a little bit. Hopefully I can get it to look the same, because sometimes I have issues. And I don't know if it's my lighting or what, but this side to me looks darker. And I think it might be shaded the way the track lighting is set up, because the lights are going in different directions. And so that affects what it looks like, what the lighting looks like. I'm bringing this up here because this side looks like it's up here. I'm going to go back with the brush that had Bronze Divinity, that first blush, and we're just going to put this here just to tone that down, because I don't want that red all the way up. Well, not even that, well, yeah. But I felt like I took it too far, and I'm seeing a distinct line right here, and I'm not really liking that. I don't see it on this side, and I'm not quite sure if it's the lighting or the angle. Like right here, I'm seeing a line right here, and I don't like it, and so I don't know what to do about it though. What I'm going to do, the brush we use for powder, I'm just going to, ooh, that worked. Ha-ha! yeah, so this is the brush. And because we did that, we're just going to do it here just to keep the sides equal, even though this side to me was fine. Yeah, that removed the line. It might just be the lighting. Let me know if I'm seeing things. We're going to take Venusian Nude, my only pat highlighter. Oh, my little cousin loved her makeup. Oh my gosh, we were in the vehicle on our way to dinner last night, and she swatched it, the extreme gold, on her hand, and you know, she kept blending out. She was like, wow. And then her mom, both of them are more melanated than I am. She swatched it. She was like, oh, this is pretty. And so my little cousin was like, I would use this for eyeshadow, but I think I'm gonna like it better as a highlighter on my face. And I'm like, girl, but it looked really pretty on her complexion. And so I'm really glad that she wanted it. I'm glad that she liked it. And you know, she looked at the blush and she was like, oh, that's pretty too. But she was stuck on a highlighter though, for real. And she looked at the Natasha Denona Glam Face and Eye Palette. She was like, wow, this is a pretty blush. This is a pretty highlighter, pretty shadows. But then she kept going back to Extreme Gold highlighter from Pat McGrath. But I'm excited for her. And she's excited to have luxury makeup. And I didn't realize, I know I said before I was thinking she can use it for cheer, because they do their own makeup for cheer. But her mom has said they have to buy makeup. They want them all to buy the same thing. They all need to do the same type of look, blah, blah, blah. So that I didn't know. But she says she will still use it. I forgot to bring something over here. Shoot, and I'm not going to get up to go get it. What I tried the other day after the previous look that I did, this is the brush I use for powder. I'm just blending everything together. Because it was going to be so hot and humid, I sprayed the Jab and Nest spray. I think I may have shown it. No, I didn't, because I didn't think till later to take it, and I had just put it in my carry bag. The Jab and Nest setting spray, and it's in like an aerosol can. It does spit. It spits and then it doesn't. But if there's like spots, like white spots, I just tap it and it just goes away. Y'all, that thing is like a hiccup, excuse me. That thing is like hairspray for my face. I was like, this is nice. And I was thinking I would use it now, but I'm home now. I'm not going anywhere. But I really do like that spray. And the one that I received in a subscription box, I liked it too, but I don't use setting sprays that often. And I keep saying I am, just because they're here, but I don't. But that day, because I knew I was going to be out, it was going to be hot, it was going to be humid. And even though I was going to be in the car, I needed to go into BJ's to get the desserts, which I did. Where else did I stop at? Oh, and I stopped, oh my gosh, at the CCO. I detoured there before I went to my uncle's house. Why was I in? Actually, that one is a CCS. CCO is Cosmetic Company Outlet. And some are called CCS, Company Cosmetic Store. But it's the same thing. And it's all Estee Lauder brands. So Tom Ford, Clinique, Tarte, MAC, what other stuff? Bobbi Brown. I forget what other brands, because it's brands I don't use. And so I did make a purchase. Why was I in there over an hour? Because I was putting together a MAC palette. That's going to be a part of my cheat video. And I'm not going to do a look. I'm just going to show you what I purchased. And I am waiting for something I'm really excited about. I got the Pure Metals collection from Lethal Cosmetics. And I used up the rest of my credit from the brush situation, which came in handy because I still had like $44 left. No, it was like $41 or some change. And the metals, the Pure Metals collection and their new multi-chrome whatever collection, they were having 15% off. I just realized, I was going to say, I just realized I didn't powder down my face. I don't be knowing what I be doing. Because I see a fleck of fallout here, and it actually just pulled off when that one came off too. So I was thinking I didn't powder down because I had fallout, but now it's gone as far as I can see. Yeah, they were having 15% off of the new 6 dual chrome, multi-chromes, 15% off the Pure Metals collection. There were 6 of each, and a 12-pan Constellation empty palette, 15% off. And so I got the 6 Pure Metal shadows, and I got the 12-pan Constellation palette because I think I'm going to take the 6-pan that I have of the Wildflower shades. I think I'm going to put those in the 12 pan palette and put the Pure Metals one in there too. That's what my thought process is. And since I had the $41 credit, and since everything I purchased was 15% off, instead of paying, I think it was $8 for UPS shipping, which would have taken like 2.5 weeks, I went ahead and paid for Express FedEx, which was like $7 more. So I'm like, you know, with $7 more for all that I've saved, I'm gonna go ahead and just get express shipping. And initially it said it would be here the 6th of July, but then when I received the they call it a dispatch notice. Here we just call it shipment notification. It said it should be here on the 8th. So I'm hoping it'll be here on the 6th. And I got the notice today. Today is the 4th. But FedEx don't sleep, like just like the Postal Service. Even if they're not delivering mail, you know, the buildings are still open and they're still in there sorting mail and stamping stuff or whatever. So I am hoping it still gets here. But then I don't know, because coming from overseas, it has to go on a plane, doesn't it? And so I don't know if it's going to be here in 2 days. But then, you know, we'll see. So that's going to be my cheat. Oh my gosh, this video's long. I'm wondering if I want to do this as a premiere because it's so long. I'll see if Melinda is okay with it being a premiere. That might be nice too, because then maybe she can watch it with me. You know what I mean? And you guys can watch it with me. I really enjoy premieres because it is like we're watching it together and we're chit-chatting about it together. Okay, so we're going to put the mascara on. Yeah, I'm not going to edit much from this video, if anything. I'm going to schedule this as a premiere. I don't think I have one scheduled for that week. And if you're not able to watch the premiere, that's fine. Because if you just watch the replay of the video, that's when you can take advantage of the timestamps. Even though for the premiere, I don't think there's any commercials, which is great. Well, ads actually, which is great. And when I do members only videos, I will demonetize those, so that way those won't show any ads. And I think, yeah, I think that'll be a good thing, because you're paying for the membership, those of you who have, and I feel like it balances out. So why make you sit through ads that I get a small percentage off of when you're already paying to see the video? You know what I mean? Here's a question for you, and I'm going to post this in my community tab. What sorts of member-only videos would you be interested in seeing from me? Because I do want to do members-only videos, but I don't want it to be like stuff that y'all don't care about. You know what I mean? And I'm also going to ask in the community tab about the name for the membership, because right now it's just yes for the request or something. And I keep thinking of you know, troll fam, crazy troll fam, or something like that. But if it's somebody that's not familiar with my channel, they might be like, what the hell is she talking about? But then if you've been here, you know what I mean? Or even just watch one video and I say the intro. This is Earth Angel. We're going to put this on. I am digging this entire look. I'm really liking the base face, even though I don't like having to use a bronzer to make the powder look right on the perimeter of my face. Like, I am digging how it looks. This is the brush that had Desert Glow on it. I am liking the outward, inward, dark to light, because the way the shadows blend, like look at my lid, the way the shadows blend, and even how they blend in the upper transition area, like I don't feel like I need to use like a brow bone shade. And honestly, if the shade in these palettes, if this top shade wasn't so bright, I would put that up there. And every time I have used it, I went back in with something else to tone it down, because it is just super bright. So let's put this gloss on. I could have just put it over top of the chapstick because it's a gloss. And I want to say it's a dual chrome. Like, I don't know. I wish Pat had a black lipstick because I would be putting these over top of that. But in keeping with the looks that I see people do with Pat McGrath, I don't see many that do a bold lip with her eyeshadow. And the first part of this series is me doing looks that I see most people do with Pat McGrath palettes. And so I think I'm nailing it. Not as ethereal as I thought it was going to be. And maybe that's just my natural vibe coming through, because I did try to pick lighter shades, and I am trying to use the Celestial shades, which are, you know, sparkly, shiny, and all of that. But this is what we got. This is green, but I'm digging it because it's different. Like, I really like how that looks. I'm really digging how that looks. So this is this palette. So let me know. Well, let me back up. This is the finished look. Let me know what you think. Make sure you check out Melinda. Her Instagram is super helpful, the step-by-step slides that she shows you. Let me know, if you were a member, what types of member-only videos would you like to see? And also, what are some names you think I should change the membership to? Because I am really thinking of, you know, Crazy Troll Fam or just Troll Fam. But then it's like, I don't know. And I see other people's names for what they're calling their memberships, and they're just like little cute, and yeah, but we ain't cute here. Like, we just get the damn thing done and we rock it. So it's not cute artsy fartsy as they say, but I just don't know what to call it. But I've been tossing around different things, and so what do you think? Because if you're a member, like, that's you're part of that, you know what I mean? And so that's why I'm asking for your input on that. And I will post this question in my community tab again, as I said. So again, that is it for this look. I'm digging it. I'm not doing the double wing thing much because we had Celestial shades under here. The felt tip is growing on me, but it's not still my favorite thing to do or to use. I'm digging the technique, and I think I perfected this eyeshadow technique. Let me know. I do think I have perfected my pat based face, even though it's all not pat. Not the concealer, not the under eye powder, and not the eye primer, and not the mascara. But the base, other than concealer, yeah, I'm digging it. And I do actually like this powder, the light medium 2 or medium light 2. I do like this under my eyes. I do. And this part of my face, it's just here, it just looks too light. So I'm really going to go. Thank you for being here. As always, self-acceptance, self-love. That is the Crazy Troll Nation way. Thank you, and you will see me soon.